Carlos Ramirez, owner of NVSAUDIO in Roselle, New Jersey. So we got the Street Glide in from Pennsylvania. It's not a wiring rescue. It's actually some of the best wiring I've seen so far. Customer wasn't happy with the bass. The highs are screaming. The highs sound really good. This bike was done out of state. Highs sound really good. The wiring is meticulous. The wiring is perfect. But he wanted a little more bass, and he actually ended up blowing both woofers. So we're gonna go with more powerful woofers, a stronger amp. There's only one mistake I saw on the whole bike. Only mistake I saw is they're using the entry-level Access line lobe inverter, but the bike's got a DSR1 DSP. So there's no need to use this. You can go directly into the DSP and flip the switch to high level. I don't know if there was reasoning behind it. We do these bikes all the time. I have no idea why that's here, but we're gonna go ahead and hook it up direct. But the wiring is clean, wire furls, everything's done as it should. The pods have been modified to accept deeper speakers. Whoever built this bike did a really good job. We're just gonna get the customer a little more bass and retune and put it back together. Previous shop did a kick-ass job. The hole is perfectly round, so obviously I used a router just like we would have. Some heavy-duty grills to protect the speaker, some nice speaker rings, but the woofer just didn't hold up. Definitely not install error. Everything is perfectly tuned. We went over everything, so we're just gonna upgrade them to some more powerful woofers. We're gonna drop a 1200.2 in there and get them back on the road. The bike didn't have lowers before. Got Ricky adding lowers to the bike. So it's gonna go from 6 speakers, now gonna have 8. All right, the bike, we just couldn't get the bass we wanted running 8s. The original plan was to run 8s, but we ended up going with the NVSAUDIO 10-inch mid-bass drivers. So we did 10-inch Nagy rings, and then we built a block-out plate out of Lexan bulletproof glass to block off the hole where the 8-inch was. So in the video, you saw that we were originally going to try and do 8s. That didn't work out. We just couldn't get the output. So we ended up going with 10-inch mid-bass drivers, the NVSAUDIO mid-bass drivers, and a 3000.1. Did a lithium battery upgrade under the seat to handle the extra amount of current. So we're running 2 10-inch mid-bass drivers on a Sound Digital 3000.1. We're running 4 Beyma carbon fiber 6.5s off a Sound Digital 800.4, and we also added a set of 25mm Mats Pro Audio horns in the mirror holes in the front of the Street Glide. Rockford DSR1 DSP. We flashed the radio, RTA tuned. This thing sounds great. The bike came in with aftermarket lids and the 6.5 sealed back Beymas in the lid with adapters to convert the 6.9 to 6.5. Since we're adding so much bass to the bags, we actually had the customer bring us in the stock lids, and then we did lowers. So we moved those 6.5s to the front to the lowers to match what he already had in the fairing. And then that gave the woofers more airspace to work with in the bags. So that worked out really, really well. So the bike came in with 6.5 in the lids, 6.5 in the fairings. After we redid it, it was nothing in the lids, 10-inch mid-bass drivers in the bags, 6.5 in the lowers, and 6.5 in the fairing. Carlos Ramirez, owner of NVS Audio in Roselle, New Jersey. We're done with another one. This one's going home. This thing sounds great. So factory radio, like I love to use. We flashed it, running DSR1 DSP, 25 millimeter horns in the mirrored holes, running Beyma coax in the front with the NVSAUDIO passive crossovers, running Beyma carbon fibers in the lowers. Had the customer bring me back his stock lids, so we moved the 6.5s from the lids over to the lowers. Now we have closed off lids, running the NVSAUDIO 10-inch mid-bass drivers, and a Sound Digital 3000 for the bass. Clean, 6 speakers with a ton of power.